could. You could.
You don't want to, though.
No, you don't want to, but you
This
could.
is the dumbest fucking conversation I've ever heard in my life.
Well, I don't see you come up with anything brilliant.
The dumbest conversation you've heard in your life. Come on now.
It's pretty fucking dumb.
Hey,
On a scale of 1 to dumb, it's fucking stupid. We'll just go with that.
You want to hear about stupid? Let's talk about Bose for a second. Let's talk about Bose and their festival for a second, okay? Now, I didn't want to put this out in the public, but Bose, now everyone loves Bose. Everyone thinks they're great, but if you knew the staggering amount of rat feces that gets in their fermenter tanks, you would never buy their products again. You would never attend their festivals. Their flippant disregard for safety regulations and the just snooty upper class snobbery that they show towards their clientele and their customer base. It's disgusting, really, and you should not vote for them in anything, whether it be a festival or best beer or an award show. You should vote for the Albino Rhino Beer Festival.
Now, for anyone not knowing what he's talking about, there is a poll currently on the MomAndHops website on what's your favorite Ontario annual beer festival. And currently I am in the lead with 54 votes. The next place, second place at 51 votes, is the Bose Oktoberfest festival. And yeah, after that, the votes really drop after those two.
Yeah, it just goes to show you that currently 51 people don't care about having rat feces in their beer.
In all honesty, I expected Cask Days, since it's the biggest one on here.
That's what I voted for.
I expected Cask Days to actually be doing better than they are.
I mean, I've been to your fest. It's okay. Cask Days, I haven't been there, but I heard it's amazing, so I went with them.
Well, see, I'm pleasantly surprised as well. Apparently, a lot more people know that Cask Days is actually in favor of genocide of Spanish-speaking peoples. I'm just putting it out there. It's what I heard. Allegedly, the people behind Cask Days hate the Spanish-speaking races.
I mean, personally, I couldn't vote for the Albino Rhino Beer Festival because he discriminates against coffee shop owners, and I can't. I'm not down with that.
Right. Okay.
Sorry.
Okay, so to start this off, let's actually look at the poll quickly. The poll on the MomAndHops site is, what's your favorite annual Ontario Beer Festival? Again, currently 54 votes for the Albino Rhino Beer Festival. Bose Oktoberfest is next with 51 votes. Then the Brewhaw Craft Beer Festival in Thunder Bay with 27. Cask Days Beer Festival in Toronto is there with 24. Brantford Beer Festival has 11 votes. King City.
And for that, doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
Votes. Well, I'm going to stop once we get down to this one here. The Society of Beer Drinking Ladies Bevy Brew Fest is next.
It really doesn't matter.
Votes.
Right there, specifically.
Apparently, this poll is misogynist.
I actually have gone to a lot of the festivals on here. I've done the Because Beer. I've done the Roundhouse. I've actually had a lot of fun at Roundhouse. I had a lot of fun at the Forest City Beer Fest in London. I never really have a lot of fun at TFOB, but it's just the crowds that are there and the people that are there just are what really turned me off at that one. Me and Joe went together to the Niagara Falls Beer Festival. I believe
we held hands.
We did. We did. It was an okay time.
It was. I enjoyed it. I think the only negative was the band being ridiculously loud.
Yeah, so loud that you couldn't hear anything.
Yeah, but aside from that, there's some really good beers, and it's a pretty good time. Not superly overpriced either. I mean, it was pricey, but not overly so.
Now, let's be clear. When you were holding hands, you were merely just exchanging long strings of protein for sustenance, weren't you?
Yeah, we both are weirdos like that. We have some genetic defect that lets us, share proteins through handshakes.
Suck a dick. That you guys are sucking dicks.
I believe the reason why we were holding hands is because Chad was using me as like I can't say it. Never mind.
Well, he couldn't hear and he couldn't see at that festival. So
yeah, I was like the blind guide dog for him. That's what
it comes down to.
I just held his hand and dragged him to each booth. All right.
Here's apparently none of us have cameras on, which is okay. You all know what every one of us look like, and that's just it. What are we all drinking? Let's start with Joseph.
I am drinking. What the fuck am I drinking? I'm drinking from Upstate Brewing Company. Their double, which is a double IPA, and it's fucking really good.
Nice. Christopher, what are you drinking?
I'm drinking vodka tonight. I'm going with the Luxasova vodka. I'm broke. I've been off for fucking 9 days from work. I have no money.
Chris, I wish you would just stop being Polish for a second.
And the great thing is, Chris can't get too hungover because we have an early morning appointment at a cooperage tomorrow.
Ooh, yes, we do.
So vlog number 3. To any viewers that are out there, are you actually enjoying the vlogs? Vlog number 3 should be
Second
coming.
one was shit. I was.
Yeah, do you want honest answers? Because I mean, I'm sure people provide them.
I'm okay with honest answers.
Okay, they were terrible. Don't ever do them again.
Shut up.
Lee, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking Pump House's Muddy River Stout.
Nice, sir, nice. And how about yourself, Nicholas?
Yeah, I'll go right now. I haven't gotten to grab a glass yet.
You've come unprepared, you fucking
Yes, I
failure.
came prepared. Sorry.
Unbelievable.
God damn
But I
it.
had time to go pee before the thing started, but no.
That's
No,
great to announce.
Had to be
Well,
like
that's
20 minutes late starting.
That's what rubber diapers are for, sir.
No.
We actually started only 3 minutes late because it's 8:10 now and we've been online for a while. I'm going to be starting the night off with Royal City's Earl Grey Porter.
Ooh. Ooh, has it got bergamot in it? I'm serious, does it?
It's got the sweat of Patrick Stewart in it.
Oh, make it so.
Earl Grey, hot.
Oh, all this nerd talk is driving me fucking crazy.
This beer will always be my number one.
Come on, take a number 2.
Do you know how you can fix that, Chris? Go play some Battlefield with 12-year-olds.
That's a burn.
That is a burn. You know what? I don't care.
You can't argue it. It's just the truth.
I can't argue it at all. Hey, Chad, we're playing later? Oh, yeah. We are.
Nothing like getting your ass kicked by fucking preteens. It's a lot of fun, isn't it? You have a good time?
It does
Well,
humble
you know
you.
what?
The
but
worst
best
thing about it
being
is
42
that
years old. Being 42 years old when I can fucking take out a 12-year-old is.
Oh, there's a lot of
The
fist
worst
pumping.
part about it is when you finally hear somebody talking on their headset and you can tell it's a 12-year-old. Yeah, you like that? Like, oh.
Ugh.
I know exactly what you're talking about. So terrible. Oh, man.
Joe's a fucking closet gamer, too. Don't worry.
Then you just put your head down and you're like, I can't believe this dude's chirping me and he's fucking a third of my age. What am I doing with my life?
So for beer news, guys, let's start with the Ontario-centric stuff, like we always do. Well, the Canada-centric stuff. Copper Bottom Brewing is opening this summer in Montague, PEI. Montague. Copper Bottom Brewing is being founded by singer-songwriter Ashley Condon and her husband Ken Spears.
Never heard of either of them.
Related to Jason Spears?
That would be cool.
That's all they have about this. With funding assistance from several government loans and grant programs, the couple will be starting construction on the brewery this month in Eastern Graphic Building in downtown Montague. With the aim to have beer flowing by this summer, in addition to the brewery, Copper Bottom will also feature a tap room and live entertainment venue.
Yeah, well, good luck to them.
Capulets and Montagues.
More breweries on PEI. They got to be careful though, because their land is not exactly, there's not a lot of it.
No. Next, Bootleg Brew Company is aiming to open in Corner Brook, Newfoundland.
Yeah.
So Bootleg Brew Company is being launched by Matt Tilley and Morgan Turner, co-workers at a sushi restaurant, who have been working on the project since early 2016. After months of test batches, they've come up with 3 beers: the Hoppy Roger IPA, the El Diablo Rojo Rye Ale, and the East Coast Pale Ale. That will form their core lineup.
Sounds good. 2 interesting ones and 1 standard one for everybody else.
Yep, the pair have set up a crowdfunding campaign on Indiegogo with the aim to raise $5,000 for startup funds.
If they can make a sushi restaurant fly in Newfoundland of all fucking places, they can probably make a brewery work.
Yeah. Full Beard Brewing is now open in Timmins. The last time I talked about Full Beard Brewing, they were just a contract brewery. So they are now open. They have their 5 o'clock Shadow Pale Ale as the only beer being offered at the moment.
I was going to make a 5 o'clock Shadow joke. Last time you talked to them, they were just a 5 o'clock Shadow. Now they're a Full Beard.
Yep.
I'm gonna hate every name from this brewery.
Great Lakes Brewery has unveiled its new Project Pilot system.
Who did?
Great Lakes, or as we like to know them, the brewery that tastes better after 2 weeks in Greg's fridge.
Ah,
He's a liar.
So their owner, Peter Bullitt, has bought the brewery a little birthday present for its 30th birthday, a 7-barrel pilot brewing system for the creation of new and experimental beers. Accompanied by 4 15-barrel fermenters, the new system, which resembles the fire-heated copper German brew kettle that the brewery originally used, will expand to do 40 to 70 different pilot brands throughout the year.
wow, that's a lot.
Yeah, what the fuck?
I assume a lot of those are going to only be like they must have what? They must have like a tap room bar thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because there's no way those are all getting released.
No, they say they'll bottle between 700 and 1,400 bottles of each one.
Yeah. Okay.
Super limited. Wait in line, sons.
Yeah, they're gonna have the fucking hardcore nerds fucking drooling in their fucking hipster beards.
As long as they're not brewing alt beers or anything.
Cold Garden Brewing Company is opening up in Calgary. Cold Garden Brewing Company will be holding its bland opening, so named because people don't care how grand your opening is. They just want to drink the beer and check out the tap room. They're going to be opening with the East Calgary Lager. This must be the IPA. One Summer in Saskatoon Saison, and several others.
See, if they wanted to be cool about it, or what did you say they're called? They're called Cold Garden.
Yep.
They should have been their cold opening.
Ooh, yeah, it should have been.
Why am I not a marketing genius for a brewery right now?
You should be, Lee. You could contact them right now and say, I'll move to Alberta in a heartbeat.
Well, I'm not moving to Alberta.
Whoa, that's part of the gig, bro.
No, those people are disgusting.
You notice how I haven't used the sound effects in 2 weeks since Joe gave me shit for using them?
I don't remember this.
Yeah. Honestly,
when we started with the fucking sound effects, you were using them all the fucking time. Blah blah blah. Ewart was laughing. Joe's like, it drives me fucking crazy. So I haven't.
Here's a little tidbit about Ewart. Inside, he's like those kids that kill you in Battlefield. He's like 12 years old. He gets very excited at the sound effects to the point where
I missed you, Joe.
he loses control of himself. And this was going back when they first added these things like 3 years ago. He would sit there and just fucking play them over and over to the point that Chad would get upset or just get up and leave. You were still laughing, and I'm like, what is happening? Yeah, that's
a good time. That sounds like a good time to whip your dick out.
Greg's not here yet, so
I know.
a little early on that one.
I'm going to try to overuse that until he gets here. He's going to keep.
So, lastly is St. Mary's Axe. St. Mary Axe debuts with Canadian Best Bitter.
Okay.
So, St. Mary Axe is a new contract brewery in Toronto, founded by Steve Doberin and Christine Hasselmeyer. They explain the name, but I don't even give a shit about the name. What I care about is the company's first release is Canadian Best Bitter, a 4.6 ABV ale that has been developed by renowned British brewmaster Alan Pugsley. For those of you that don't know Alan Pugsley, he could also be the guy that you would know from behind Shipwreck in the U.S.
That's cool. It's called Shipyard. You're close.
Shipyard, yeah, Shipyard. I'm thinking of his ship. The problem is, I thought of
Shipwreck's better. Fuck it. You know what? The entire brewery's a wreck anyway.
I thought of the Shipwreck, the fruit beers, the Shipyard Shipwreck Blueberry and shit like that you brought up.
Yo, I don't know if any of them are called Shipyard Shipwreck. I'd have to get back on you. I'm probably going to say on a scale 1 to 10, because I like scales tonight, -300. You're wrong. But here's the thing. Alan Pugsley is helping out a contract brewer in Ontario.
Yep.
Well,
good on him. That's cool.
Yeah, good luck. They need all the help they can get if they're a contract brewer.
Just
it's being contract brewed in London, Ontario. So I'm going to guess that it's being contract brewed at either Anderson Craft Ales or at Forked River.
Okay.
Why would you guess those two?
Because those are the only two large ones in London. So the only two that would really have extra space, possibly. It's not going to be done at Toboggan or something like that. Who's a brew.
What is their other stuff like from those two breweries? Is it generally good?
Anderson Craft Ales is owned and operated by the man who used to be the brewmaster at what is it? The brewery that Nick goes to, the Brasseries de Petit Saut.
All right.
He actually makes some good beer. And Fork River does a lot of good stuff too. So
Okay, so they got a good system, and if the recipe's good, then it might be.
yeah, but if Alan Pugsley made the recipe, I don't know.
Yeah, well,
I don't know. I have heard a lot of great things about him when he was working with Ringwood and everything else in the UK. I think it's once he came over to the US and did shipyard stuff that I don't know.
Wasn't
You
that
don't
the
I'm sorry, Joe. You don't know what kind of restrictions they put on him in shipyard either. Like he might have had to work within a certain system and do certain things. So you never know if he's left a little less tied down with this one, it might be better.
You have to work
Depending-
with shitty because it's cheaper. Kind of shit.
I mean, shipyard, a lot of people like it. Like, there's a lot of people who like it. But at the same time, like, I think they use exclusively the Ringwood yeast, which turns off quite a few people because it's it's unique and not everyone's down with that. But I mean, in all honesty, some of the bigger stuff they had, like their Smash Blueberry, Smash Pumpkin, some of that stuff was pretty fucking solid. I thought it's their smaller bottles and like their core lineup that kind of I don't really care for the most part, and I think that
Remember the blueberry porter?
I don't remember them having a blueberry porter. I remember they had the Smash Blueberry beer that was maybe it was just an ale, just like a generic ale. They didn't specify the style within the ale.
I'm looking up shipyard videos right now because a
Don't
lot
they-
of them you brought up.
Don't they make a Fuggles something?
I brought that mint chocolate one. We had that mint chocolate one. I remember that one. That's all I remember.
Yes, they make a Fuggles one. That was one of the worst beers I've ever had, but it wasn't the beer's fault as much as it was the guy who kept it in his trunk for 2 weeks and didn't tell me till afterwards.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure I've had a couple of their things, and I liked everything I had from them. I'm pretty sure. So
Two of their beers that I distinctly remember hating something fierce was their Pumpkinhead, which is like their regular pumpkin spiced beer, and then they came out with a Melon Head that was basically the same thing as Pumpkinhead but with melon. I think it was like the same base beer, but I think their Pumpkinhead was one of those beers that didn't actually have pumpkin in it. It was just the pumpkin spices. It's fucking gross. It was really bad.
yeah, if it's just the spices, then it's just a spice beer of spices that don't work well with just like a general bland pale ale or lager fucking base.
Yeah, that was a problem. Like the base beer was just like a generic whatever, like blonde ale, but it was not good. And then on top of it, it was just like, here's all the cinnamon nutmeg you can handle. And I'm like, I'm not.
Yeah,
down with this.
it's like, oh, here's your Sleeman original draft. Let's dump a bunch of fucking cinnamon and fucking nutmeg at it, and here have a go at that, guys. Yeah, no thanks.
But anyway, yeah, we kind of off tangent a little bit, and a little off tangent.
Yeah, we're always off tangent. That's okay.
Can I go to the comments here for a sec? Because
Yes, please.
we actually respond to comments on this show, and like some other shows that either can't work the comments because they're so fucking totally inept at actually YouTubing that they can't garner the concept of, oh, I can have the comments open in another tab and actually read them with ease. Just saying. Beer Core Droid says he's drinking a 18 Hands Rustic Pale Ale from Amsterdam. And he voted, I assume, for your festival there, Chad. So there you go. And Mr. Angus Wangus says, I'm into St. Ambrose's oatmeal stout now. Fucking good. My dark girlfriend. Yeah, my first black girlfriend as well. There you go.
That's a great beer. Really is. Man, you know what? I wish I wish more people would enjoy stuff like that nowadays. It's a regular
Or
fucking
black
old stout.
girlfriends?
Right, you were fucking drinking all these whales. Gets old.
It does. It does. Sometimes you just got to keep it real, homie. You know what I mean?
You just gotta grab those shelf turds and take them to the dome. That's all.
So,
I mean, what else?
you back from your vacation in France?
Look what France did to him. Holy shit.
You've seen it a little bit, just a smidge.
Yeah,
My
exactly.
God. Did
Exactly.
Tasting Mitch do that to you? What the fuck is going on here?
That's what happens. That's what happens. No, I was in Spain and France actually for work.
You look like an old sea captain who had a stroke.
Arr. Yep.
You actually worked there for your voice. He's actually saying.
Holy shit! You haven't shaved for a while, have you?
No. Wait, you're looking at Lee's avatar, not mine.
They don't shave in France. Nick.
Like I'm hearing.
I'm not talking about armpits.
How was your meetup with the one niche of tasting?
I mean,
Where'd you guys go? Where would you meet up at?
met up at a place called the Outland Bar. It's a brew pub. Yeah, they had some interesting beers on tap. Nothing crazy, but it was solid. Nice, decent neighborhood and stuff. It was actually pretty cool.
Did she do any live jump cuts?
No. I imagined them in my head, and it was irritated all the same.
Like she plays peekaboo, and that's her jump cuts. Is that how that goes?
Yeah, peekaboo of sorts, sure.
Of sorts. Okay. A little too much information. Hopefully
No,
your
I'm just
wife
teasing. I'm
doesn't
just
watch
teasing.
the
That
stream.
sounds like a great time
No.
to take it.
Well, it's the second time you guys met up, right?
Yeah. I will say that she just came bounding into the bar, and just basically the place just exploded. It just, I don't know. She was, she gets around, and people know her, so it's pretty cool.
So she's like a celebrity over there.
I wouldn't say that, but I'm just saying she's very personal.
She's a regular, so
No,
she's
it sounded
so
like
she's
you
regular.
just said that.
She's a
It's like
regular.
sounded like it. Sounded like you
So
just called her
she-
celebrity.
so either that or she's the norm of the bar. Everyone,
I just say that-
she walks in and everyone's like, Norm!
Oh yeah.
No, I just think that the craft beer culture in Paris is, not as developed as other major cities, like a lot of Europe, and the community is small, so they know who she is. So
Okay.
Sweet.
it's just cool. I mean, yeah. So it makes socializing for me a little easier because I know somebody, which is a bonus.
Wooden Horse Brewing is launching its first 3 beers.
What a great segue.
What the
Wooden
fuck?
Horse Brewing. Wooden Horse Brewing is a brewery from that's being brewed in Niagara on the Lake. It's a new contract brewer based in Niagara. They are founded by Brad Barta. The key to him is he's actually a guy that has he's actually done a little bit of teaching over at Niagara College, and he did go to one of the new breweries and offer some advice, and they told him to get lost.
I love how when you said his name, you were questioning it. It's headed by Brad Barta? Is it Brad Barta? I don't know who the fuck this guy is.
Anyway, their first 3 beers are the Irish
You
Session
fucking
Stout,
kidding me?
a Bavarian IPA, and a Northern Pilsner.
Excuse me, what was the last one?
A Northern Pilsner.
Okay, someone explain this to me.
Yeah, I don't know anything about it other than its name.
That'll make a Southwestern Pilsner, guys. I know.
Stop making IPAs. Fucking, let's get fucking rid of the IPAs. Just do something different.
Chris, I'm gonna remember this conversation, this BDU, but I totally won't remember it. But I'll remember it, but I probably won't. About 2 years from now, when you love IPAs, I'll remember this.
Oh yeah.
Hey, so Peroni is now doing a gluten-free beer.
Oh, good for them.
I'm shocked.
No, it's great because they can charge like double for the fucking thing, and a bunch of suckers will buy it.
I'm sure everyone with the gluten issues, no matter what it is, they'll be buying it all up.
Apparently, it tastes just the same as regular Peroni, but gluten-free.
No, it doesn't. No, it
I got that
doesn't.
gluten-free sperm.
If anything, it'll make Peroni taste better. Regular Peroni.
This is actual gluten free and not reduced.
Yes, actual gluten-free.
There's no way it tastes better then. It's not possible unless they found some miracle grain.
What was there's been some breweries that actually remove the gluten after brewing it, right? Like I forgot what the fuck brewery in the States does it, but they're pretty popular.
Full Mission?
Yeah. Pretty sure it's them. And people say their beer is pretty good, but I don't think it's actually technically gluten free. It's more like gluten reduced.
Yeah, because there's still some celiacs that can get a reaction from even like the most minuscule amount of gluten in the product.
Fake reactions. I don't believe celiacs.
Well, even Stone has that delicious IPA that is technically, I believe, gluten free based on whatever fucking definition is for gluten free. I don't know anything about that other than
it has to hit a certain parts per million, I think.
Yeah, but I don't know what that is. So
Doesn't like Budweiser or something technically fall under that?
No, it's a Corona.
Budweiser falls under it on some tests and not others. It matters which test you're doing.
I thought Corona did as well.
Yeah,
positive.
a lot, and Heineken as well.
Yeah, because Corona's just water. There's no beer in it, so it's like, why wouldn't it?
Oh, I want to hit the effect so bad right now. Well, I'm not.
Although I do agree with you, and I think a lot of people just like, oh, I'm a celiac. No, you're not. You're just an idiot.
You're just a neoliberal.
Yeah, you're just one of those.
February 1st was Gruit Day, and for February 1st, Wellington Brewing released their newest Gruit, More Sugar, which is a dark Gruit brewed with spruce tip, birch bark, juniper, and lapsang tea.
Is it gluten-free?
No.
Oh,
It's got bark in it.
Yeah, it's got bark in it.
Stupid.
It's so stupid.
Hey, Niagara Falls Craft Distillers opened on Friday.
I wasn't done talking about Gruits.
I think we're always done talking about Gruits.
I had an amazing Gruit by Scratch Brewing Company. They have a single tree concept where they pull a bunch of stuff off of one tree into a beer, no hops.
Yeah.
And they're amazing.
And
Where's this place from?
They only let the birds that live on that tree piss in the actual beer before they serve it.
It's actually shit.
Wait, where's this? Where's this? Where's this brewery from?
Scratch Brewing, Joe. Scratch Brewing.
Hey,
No, but where are they from?
Southern Illinois.
Oh, nice.
Hey, Ewart.
Yes.
Joe says you have a mind of a 12-year-old.
I totally did when it comes to the Google effects and whatnot.
Oh yeah.
He
No, I have
thinks you're,
the comedic sensibilities of a 12-year-old.
There you go. Comedic sensibilities of a 12-year-old. That is the quote from one Ewart.
On February 10th, Niagara Falls.
The senility of an 80-year-old.
And I think me and Chris might try and get in there too, just to do a beer you mentioned about alcohol.
Where?
Distillery Mentory.
Niagara Falls Craft Distillers opens on Friday. They are founded in part by Chris Jeffries, co-owner of Taps Brewing. They host a 10 hectoliter copper kettle and 21 plate still. At launch, Niagara Falls Craft Distilleries will offer Lucky Coin Motel handcrafted vodka, Lundy's Lane 1814 small batch gin, and Barreling Annie whiskey.
So are they going to have like a big fucking deep fryer right next to it where a bunch of stuff will spatter into the fucking thing?
And then you're going to send it to Lee and have him review it?
Yeah. Are they going to have a fucking restaurant of like little kids rubbing their snot noses all over her fucking thing while they're fucking trying to distill shit?
Maybe.
This will be the start of the distilleries in the fucking Niagara region right now.
It's amazing how many people just are able to distill. Must be a big home distiller community out there. That's
You know that Niagara College next semester, next set of semesters in September should be opening up the Niagara College teaching distillery.
Well, these guys are ahead of their time then.
Yeah.
They're ahead of the curve.
To break it in before shit gets too popular.
First graduates will come there and tell them how to distill, I'm sure.
They're coming for you, Yort. They're snipping at your heels, baby.
I love Mr. Angus Wangus.
I'm threatened.
You know what? Mr. Angus Wangus is a troll. Takes one to know one.
No, he asked a legit question. I have a question for the panel. Have the Buffalo Sabres ever won the Stanley Cup?
No.
Hey, Joe. Oh, all right.
And then Raining on Your Parade says, yo. So we got two actual, like, really great commenters in the chat right now.
Oh, Jesus.
I mean...
He's going right after me. I know it. This is son of a bitch.
Raining on Your Parade's an all right dude.
That's
not. He's terrible.
I just love how he has. I just love how he has fucking Ewart paranoid. I mean, he had Ewart like convinced that he was that Travis McGee guy a couple weeks ago.
No, I know who Travis McGee is.
I don't think you
It's
do.
a simple fact, right?
Hey,
a woman doesn't care enough about you.
With a beer bottle in a Brampton dispute. She was trying to break up a fight, and they hit her with a beer bottle.
Well, she stuck her nose in. She gets what she gets.
Don't put your face in front of a fucking beer bottle.
Yeah.
Oh, so I found a news article today from Fox News that I actually shared. It's the first time in
Fox
my
News?
life. It's the first time in my life I've shared something from Fox News.
Oh, it's
And
totally
it made me giggle because the 5 things you didn't know about Pabst Blue Ribbon.
Are there things where
And
you
first,
care about?
it was originally named Best. So it used to be the Best Beer Company, and Frederick Pabst.
Didn't it originally win that award, that Blue Ribbon Award? Wasn't that the fucking...
No. That's sort of it too. But anyway, so it was originally known as Best, and Frederick Pabst married the daughter of the owner of the Best Brewing, and after the owner died, he renamed the brewery after himself.
Oh, he's kind of a prick.
The Blue Ribbon tag dates back to 1893, which is when Frederick Pabst started tying blue ribbons to his beers as they won awards because there wasn't enough medals to give out, and they were all.
Let's just double check that. Is that right, Jay? Jay.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there we go.
The 80s and 90s were really tough. Pabst Blue Ribbon peaked in 1977 and selling 18 million barrels. In 2001, they only sold 1 million barrel.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
And the other ones I don't care about. The other ones are talking about hipster stuff.
Oh, you have to have a
That's
beer
the most-
to enjoy
that's-
Pabst Blue Ribbon, right? Ewart?
That's right. You gotta appeal to the millennials, man. Come on. We're entitled
right.
to know what you're talking about. Tell me more.
So there is a beer fear in the UK. There's a beer
Wait a second.
fear
This
in the
isn't about
UK.
Pabst Blue Ribbon. What the fuck?
So Heineken is set to buy 1,900 Punch Tavern inns, and the people that are employed at Punch Tavern are all worried that Heineken will try to fill the bars with its own beer when it buys Britain's second biggest pub chain.
Oh, well, what
you
the fuck do you think they were going to
shouldn't
do?
really fear that. That's just what's going to happen. They're
Yeah.
buying 1,900 taverns to get into 1,900 places in the UK.
Like, what the fuck did what the fuck did Green King do when they acquired all those fucking brew pubs and bars and shit around? They did that. Everyone fucking does that.
Well, exactly. Like, what would you expect them to do? They're buying these pubs for a reason. The reason they're buying these pubs, they don't have to play the game of, hey, we'll give you this much money to put our beer on tap. They can just go, hey, this is our bar. This is where the beer's going.
Yep. And what the fuck do they care? As long as they keep their fucking jobs, who gives a shit? You can always get better beer somewhere else.
It's about integrity, man. We gotta, paddle that Boddingtons and the Tenants and all the other fucking macros in the UK.
Oh, I'm sure that shit will still be in there. It'll just be regulated to 1 tap each, and then there'll be like 5 taps for Heineken brand shit.
Yeah, Heineken Light, Heineken Dark, Amstel Light, and Amstel Dark.
Wait, who did Heineken buy half of this year or last year? Was it Lagunitas?
Yes.
Oh, there you go, Lagunitas.
You might.
We got Lagunitas here in Canada, so why not? Why not the UK?
Yeah.
I actually had Lagunitas on tap in downtown Windsor. I was shocked. Could not believe it.
Nice.
I'm going to chat.
Police in Central Saanich.
What's that?
Central Saanich. It's here in Ontario. They they warned a man to get up the street as he was cleaning the streets with his Zamboni.
Oh yeah, that dumbass.
So
fucking
in the most
moron.
Canadian way ever, it snowed. The plows didn't go out, so he went out with his Zamboni.
Yeah. Brilliant move.
That's the
They're
thing,
not made for moving snow, by the way, just so you know.
They're made to melt the ice in front of you and fucking squeeze you the shit out. Like, fuck, what's wrong with people? Really?
The guy's a
Joe?
dumbass. Is what's wrong
What
with
do
him.
you think about that? You're a hockey fan. Zamboni on the street.
And everyone's playing him up as some big Canadian hero because when he got interviewed, yeah, I just drinking my Tim Hortons coffee and driving my Zamboni. Isn't that cute? Isn't that cute? The most Canadian thing ever. We can't shit on the guy for breaking the fucking law. You can't
Meanwhile,
drive a
he's turning
fucking
the whole road into a fucking ice slick running behind him.
I guarantee you, in the background, in the commercial that he's going to star in for Tim Hortons, will be a fucking Canadian Tire in the background.
Oh, probably. But fuck this guy. Like all he did was break the fucking law and actually endanger people more than he fucking did any good. I don't give a fuck how much they try to play him up as some sort of minor Canadian folk hero in the fucking news right now. They're trying to, support the motherfucker. He broke the fucking law. And he made a comment like, hey, I might take my Zamboni out again. I hope you fucking do. And the cops pull you over and beat your ass.
Wait, was he trying to
escalated
Zamboni
quickly.
the street, or is he just driving it?
No, he was Zamboniing the street. He was cleaning.
Yeah.
That's not cool. If you're just driving as a motor vehicle, I can get behind that.
But
Like
you can't.
like tractors and golf carts on little public streets.
You can't license a Zamboni for the streets, though.
Well, then what about tractors?
Unless he was
and
making,
farm- and
unless he
farm
was actually
equipment?
making an ice rink.
He had a Zamboni on his farm. He owns a farm. His Zamboni was to do his ice rinks on his farm.
Yeah.
So I just posted a news article for a Kickstarter campaign. This will be our
there it is.
next story before we go to the comments and see what's going on over there. Anyway, this is for the. This is something that I'm kind of intrigued about and kind of not at the same time. I see some people might actually be intrigued by it. It is the Growler Chill, which keeps 3 growlers cold, fresh, and untapped at home. So it's a tabletop dispenser for growlers, a refrigerated tabletop dispenser.
I'll fucking say people are fucking interested. They already fucking like tripled their fucking goal.
Holy fuck, $418,000 already pledged. Like that's gonna be. Oh yeah, that'll go through for sure. It'll be.
Oh yeah, well it's already going through. It's just how much are they going to make before the end?
It'll be on the shelf at Canadian Tire in no time.
This is only 1,135 backers too, so there's some people putting some serious money into fucking backing this thing.
Yeah, they are. And 20 days to go, and then that fucking thing is going to be on the shelf. You know what? You know what? Good. Anything that pours cold beer that takes up a little bit of counter space, then that's all good with me.
It's probably easier to clean than your fucking cappuccino machine too.
Bring your growler home. Step 2. Put the magic top cap on.
Step 3 is the best.
You place the growler into the Virginator.
What? Virginator.
It's
And they trademarked it.
And they trademarked it. So I'm sorry, Greg, you cannot have a Virginator, but it inverts the oxygen from the headspace. Invert the growler and place it into your Growler Chill. Pour and enjoy.
Oh my god, Virginator has been trademarked. Are you fucking kidding me?
And somewhere
Craig is crying.
Oh,
right
and
now.
it has an app so you can set what all 3 of your growlers are, and it will measure how much is left in them. And
One of the beer's names are Java the Nut.
I am buying this product. Listen, I'm going to buy this product because of the fact that it says Virginator.
Yeah, you know what? Somewhere right now, someone's starting a fucking Tumblr page to protest the fucking Virginator because it's misogynist.
Somebody should search that right now. Virginator. You know, I'm going to Google search that right now.
Wait, why is the Virginator exclusive to women, though, Lee? That's not right.
Because that's the way feminists tend to think.
No.
So you had to have given at least $339 to get one of the units as your present.
Wow.
All right, listen. I just searched Virginator and I found a picture of Khaleesi from Game of Thrones in her bathtub. It was awesome.
Yeah, I'm not surprised you find something like that.
I'm not even surprised. Yeah, it was awesome. And
would any of you guys buy this, mattering what the price is? At $339, I wouldn't. But if it was like $100 thing, I sure.
Well, how much is it?
oh, no.
Well, when you set back them on Kickstarter, you had to give them at least $339 to get the item.
Excuse me, it's $339 to keep 3 growlers chill.
Yeah,
Cold
and tap them.
Fresh and on tap.
Yeah.
Well, here's the thing: you could buy more growlers, Joe.
No, I understand, but it's fucking that's.
Let me tell you what's going to happen here. You're going to pledge a $39, get your product, and then some Joe Schmo like me who goes to Canadian Tire and finds it on fucking Boxing Day for half the price is going to buy it.
I would probably.
Chad, what's it called?
The Keg Chill.
I would probably wait for feedback to see.
Oh, sorry, Growler Chill.
If it actually works.
What's it called? The Virginator. That's what I'm calling it from now on.
Billy Mays here, back from the grave to bring you this great new product called the Virginator.
That's awesome. It's so true.
Huh.
Alrighty, comments, Lee.
Okay. Mr. Angus Wangus wants to know if Jay in the picture there's having a palsy spasm. Basement Beer Review says
My normal face.
Says Jay's O-Face and Dick Butt would be a cool band name.
Yeah, it would.
Yeah. The Good Greg, Dullahan Brewing says, good evening, gents. Cheers.
Why doesn't Jamie show up on the chat tonight?
I don't know. I don't think he likes us anymore. Mr. Angus Wangus says, I worked in the USA for 12 years, and PBR is all I drank. Water Beer Land. Chris Shepard says, enjoying a Lagunitas undercover investigation shutdown ale. Jesus Christ, that's a long name. Decent brew.
Known for long names.
Does it spell anything? No, on the letters.
UISDA.
No, it doesn't.
I'm going to be drinking a Royal City 100 Step Stout now.
I'm coming over to your house to pick up a beer from you. Yeah, I'm on my way.
You're going to experience the Virginator. Raining on Your Parade says, just picked up a Founder's Fruitwood Cherry Ale aged in bourbon barrels of maple syrup. Can't find the ABV on the bottle. Hope I can tell you how it is by the end of BDU. Just put it in the fridge.
That sounds amazing, to be honest.
Yeah.
Beer. I've had it. It's good.
Yeah, it's readily available here around here anyway. You know.
Oh, by the way, Joe, I'm coming over to Buffalo at some time in the next month, and I'm going to come pick you up. And you're going to go to the fucking liquor store with me.
Yeah, that seems like a great time.
Yeah, Chris Shepard says Fruitwood is solid. Went through my 4-pack quickly. And Mr. Angus Wangus is $339 for a Virgin.
Technically trademarked.
Yeah, trademarked Virgin. That's strange. All right, I'm gonna go get a beer. Fuck you.
It's uncalled for.
So I decided to back the project. No, I wish I don't have any money.
I'm tempted. It's a nice looking thing. No, I'm not.
Yeah, you buy everything and anything. Let's be honest.
Yeah, who bought the entire lot of the fucking Brewmaster?
Oh, well, dude, we're not talking $399. And I bought those like Robin Hood. They gave them out to the peasants, like Nick.
Oh, the peasants like Nick.
The fucking peasants.
Oh, hello, Nick. You still here?
Yes, I'm still here.
You been
here the whole time.
I know. He's
been deciding what beer he was going to drink. Still hasn't figured it out.
Are you sick again, Nick? Hold on. Oh, there's
he found it.
That's awesome.
See, when you mentioned it, you knew this was going to happen.
I keep it right by my desk in case of emergency. Break open Brewmaster.
So both Anheuser-Busch and Miller Coors have slashed their contracts for malt barley, leaving a lot of farmers in the lurch. That's really the extent of this article I want to get into. There's a lot of number game in here that nobody really cares about. Basically, what it comes down to is the two biggest barley purchasers in North America have decided to cut back on the amount of farms they use, and a lot of these farms won't be able to sell to the craft guys until they replant their fields, because a lot of this stuff is actually trademarked fucking grains. Trademarked GMO brands of grains.
Who the fuck's beeping in the background?
That's the Brewmaster.
The Brewmaster knows what it's doing.
The Brewmaster knows what it wants.
Come back from the future.
It gives you fucking proper reviews of any beer you want.
For anyone that wants to know, the Albino Rhino Beer Festival in Ridgeway, Ontario is now up by 7 votes. 7 votes.
Holy fuck, you're leading the pack.
Leader
of the pack.
I'm going to switch my vote. Cass stays 2 votes.
Chad, when's it come down?
I don't know.
Whenever Chad is not in the lead is when it comes down.
Probably.
Probably know how to create a bot to rig the election. Call Putin, somebody.
Maybe Nick can fucking figure out.
Striking brewery workers have won in court. Molson had charged the union $6 million in damages. The union got that thrown out of court. To go on with this, apparently Molson's big factory in Montreal is thinking about striking now too.
I fucking muted him.
I agree, Brewmaster.
Oh no! I Brewmaster too. Brewmaster's unimpressed.
Honestly, if we all broke out our Brewmasters right now, we could fucking own this show.
Do it.
I don't have a Brewmaster.
I wasn't talking about you. I was talking about us three fucking titans of the industry right here.
So anyway, like I was saying, in the Ontario Supreme Court, threw out the counterclaim from Molson of $6 million in damages to the union. The union's still on strike. Now the union is getting the sister union in Quebec at Montreal's factory to go on strike. Actually, I think it would be great if all of Molson's factories went on strike, Because if they all went on strike, you'd see a lot of new beers showing up.
Would you?
Oh, once a brewery needs that beer right away, they're going to need that beer. Oh, sorry, once a bar needs that beer right away, they're going to need a beer, and they might go local for some of them.
Oh, I see what you mean. Yeah.
I think that's the one thing I understand. I understand where this strike is coming from, and if a brewery that's making billions of dollars a year comes up and says, "You know what, we want to cut your benefits," I'd want to go on strike too. But at the same time, in the way the beer industry is right now, if you guys stop the creation of that beer long enough, your licensees are just going to move on to somebody else, and they might not come back to you when you come back.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Labatt, like Anheuser-Busch is just sitting there going, "Yeah, keep going on strike. We have so many kegs of Bud to push out there."
Well, that's the thing. They'll just try to fill that fucking void. So really, I don't know if it necessarily would be great for local guys. Because I mean, Bud can come in and offer the bars out around there a much better deal. So that's why I was sort of questioning it. But I don't know. Depends on how the bar is inclined. If the bar wants the opportunity to grab more local guys, then yeah, it might be good. But
so, students at Stanford have recreated two 5,000-year-old recipes for beer. One is a spit beer, just like they did on.
That South American shit.
Yeah, so the spit beer, but this one you chew yourself, and it kind of stinks.
Peruvian chica.
Ew.
Or a Chinese brew that looks like porridge. Would you drink either?
Fuck no.
Ew.
If the porridge is alcoholic, maybe. Yeah.
Listen, I'm just trying to start drinking fucking as many different types of beers and craft beers as I can. Now we're gonna fucking throw porridge in the fucking mix.
Well, that's basically a double
Spit
quait.
porridge.
A quait is like 90% oats, and it's super thick. It kind of looks like porridge.
Fuck that. Fuck
Now, if you spit in the porridge beer, would that make a difference?
I don't know.
Would you notice?
Yeah.
The little frothiness on the top. Bidding opened up for 80 additional grocery stores to sell beer and cider. The LCBO and Ontario Minister of Finance today jointly announced the bidding for an additional 80 grocery stores to start selling beer and cider has started. 130 grocery stores are currently authorized to sell beer and cider. As many as 210 grocery stores are expected to be authorized before the end of June, with the potential of as many as 450 in the future. A fairness commissioner has been brought on by the LCBO to provide oversight and advice to support integrity and fairness throughout the bidding process. Bidding is open now via Bidingo.
Bidingo? What?
Bidingo ate my baby.
Really? The Ontario government is using Bidingo.
Oh, Catherine Wynne, she might have eaten some babies in her time.
She looks like she has.
She looks like a feral beast.
Why, my pretties?
Exactly. She's got a cauldron and a black hat somewhere. She's got some flying monkeys. Oh, she's got flying monkeys in her pocket. I see the connection now. Oh my god. It's all coming together.
Dog, too.
Pretty soon it'll be announced Flying Monkeys, new national brewer of Ontario. Never saw it coming.
He's the secret master brewer of Flying Monkeys.
Man, conspiracy.
But actual flying monkeys, not the,
I didn't even need my tinfoil hat for that one.
Right. Here's an interesting one. Lost Craft has bought and acquired Sextant Craft Brewing. So for those of you that don't know, both of those are contract brewers, actually. Lost Craft today announced it has acquired Sextant's Craft Brewery. Lost Craft, who currently markets its Revival Lagered Ale and Crimson Red Ale, brewing under contract by Common Good Beer Company, takes on Sextant's Why So Serious Pale Ale, which launched in 2015, also contract brewed at Common Good.
Sextant.
We view Lost Craft as a partner of choice. The company's passion to make approachable craft beer was consistent with our vision, and we're thrilled that Sextant's legacy will live on under the Lost Craft banner. said Dave Ringfield, Sextant CEO. The So Serious will be rebranded and relaunched in the LCBO. So first off, your legacy is not living on because you're being rebranded and relogoed. And second off, no, you just cared that they offered you the money you wanted.
Who cares? It's a tent you can have sex in. Either way, it works.
Yes. Yes. It's a tent you can have sex in.
Yeah.
Tent.
There you go.
Sex tent. Here's one. This is from Food and Wine. The 25 most important American craft beers ever brewed.
Oh, I gave you this list.
You did. Number 25 was Ithaca Flower Power IPA. Any of you guys had that? I actually really enjoyed it when I had it.
No, I never had it.
No.
Yeah, you gave it to me.
No, I never had it ever. I don't know anything about the beer. Can you describe it?
No, I can't.
Well, it's unfortunate you had it.
I know. So did you.
Don't remember it.
Mm-hmm.
Next was Victory's Hop Devil IPA. I remember this one being a little too bitter for me when I had it.
Wait, is this the fucking list that Lee did on last week's show that he had?
Yeah, it is.
I don't know. I wasn't.
Oh, okay. Yeah, no, go ahead.
Oh, I didn't watch my show. I didn't know. Fuck you.
I watched up
watch it all.
until that list was over, and then I was done. I had it out, but
Dogfish Head 90-minute IPA is number 23.
That one I'd agree with, just because it's like the whole series kind of set kind of a revolution for IPAs.
I would agree with you too. Yeah.
Are we going through the whole list right now? Because if we are,
Geary's Pale Ale, I don't know Geary's Pale Ale. I've never had it.
That's an old brand apparently.
Might have had that, I think.
Anchor Porter came in at 21. If I was going to put Anchor on here, and it might be later on it comes up, but I would have put Anchor Steam on here.
There is a shitload of Anchor on that list, though.
Is there?
yeah.
Notting Head Ich bin ein Berliner Weiss. I've never had it.
Apparently, it was just an earlier Berliner Weiss. It was like the first one made in America or something.
Widmer Hefeweizen. I've had a lot of Widmer beers. I didn't actually have a Hef from them.
I can't remember if I ever had that one. Probably not.
Pizza Port Lost Abbey Cuvée de Tome. Never had it. Never had it at all.
I think I mentioned that I think I can't get past the fact that they call themselves Pizza Port. It just doesn't work for me as a brewery name.
But Pizza Boy did.
Pizza Boy. Have I ever had Pizza Boy anything? I don't think.
No, but Pizza Boy was one we talked about where they made that beer that people bitched about, and then they made the logo of "You're all whiners."
Oh, I don't remember. I wouldn't accept them as a brewery.
Anchor Christmas Ale came in at 17. Never even heard of Anchor Christmas Ale, to be honest.
That's like
Are you kidding?
I haven't had it.
That's like a first generation American barley wine or something like that, pretty much.
Yeah,
It's just their
pretty much
Christmas
is.
salad. The recipe changes every year.
Yeah.
The
So it's
logo
like
also
Fuller's-
changes.
so it's
They
like
use a
Fuller's-
different tree.
Well, what is it? Isn't the Christmas ale though? It was featured in Michael Jackson's Beer Hunter series when he interviewed Fritz Maytag.
Pretty sure. It's basically Fuller's vintage ale, but the American version, essentially, because it changes every year and it's a barley wine in style generally. So
Yeah,
I just had a barley wine by them, the old Foghorn, and it was really damn good.
And that's another one of those American barley wines that everyone talks about, along with Bigfoot.
Allagash's Cool Ship Resurgam. And I'm reading that they actually used a Cool Ship to make it, which is pretty awesome. Oscar Blues Dale's Pale Ale. I think that's like the only Oscar Blues beer I haven't had, to be honest with you.
they I think they stuck that one on the list because it was like the first canned American pale ale, essentially, like craft pale ale at the very least, I think. And also just kind of, I think they cited that as like the real start of like the revolution of canning beers in craft brewing.
Okay, Celix White is next, which they say is the quintessential American Seminole Belgian style wheat beer. So it's basically Ontario's side launch wheat.
Oh, where's fucking radar when you need it?
Seminole wheat beer.
Seminole, yeah.
New Belgium's La Folie. Then we're on Sierra Nevada Celebration Ale. Okay.
Yeah.
Anchor Steam at number 11. Okay.
So there you go. That one I totally agree with. That has to be on the list.
So do I. New Albion Ale. I only would like that one if it said New Albino Ale.
Yeah, but there's no new albinos. We're wiping them out.
I know. Yeah. Victory Prima Pills. Victory Prima Pills is one of those beers that whenever I would go to visit Tonawanda and everywhere else, whenever I'd go to the U.S., I would walk into Premier Gourmet and I would look at it. I would look at Prima Pils, and I would always put it back because it was a Pilsner. But I kind of wish I had bought it.
It's one of the better American Pilsners that I've had.
Oh, shit.
Well, you know what I mean, right? Like,
we're about to go offline because Greg's here.
I would go into Premier Gourmet, and there's just so many beers to choose from, and I'd look at it every time, and I'm like, you know what? There's just so many more interesting beers to grab.
Yeah, I don't think. I mean, a couple summers ago, I grabbed like 5 or 6 Pilsners off the shelf, and that was one of them, just to see if I actually cared for the style or if I could get into it. And that's probably the best of the bunch, but still,
my favorite Pilsner that I've got brought up from you, and it was the Pivo Pils by Firestone Walker,
which is kind of cheating
because it's not really a Pilsner.
No, yeah, it's a hot Ford lager, basically.
Chad, all you need is a passport. You can totally go back there and get all the Pilsner you want.
No, correct. I need 2 passports to go into. 3 Floyd's Dark Lord is number 8. Number 7, Russian River Pliny the Elder.
Yeah, like that. I think that one got on there in the importance-wise as far as being like one of those big fucking hipster beers that everyone wanted.
Anchor Liberty Ale. Holy shit, you're right. There is a lot of Anchor. That's like their on here.
It's pretty much their entire lineups on that fucking list.
The Alchemist Heady Topper.
Definitely.
Did you notice that list is actually sponsored by Anchor?
Yeah.
Allagash White. Goose Island Bourbon County Brand Stout.
Yeah.
Can you actually include them now that they're not really? Well, they were when it came out. It was
yes.
This is historical importance because that Gary's Pale Ale was like a sort of a first generation craft brand that's been resurrected several times since. So,
number 2, Sam Adams Boston Lager.
Yeah, that has to be on there.
Yeah.
And number 1, I think number 1 has to be on here too, but I don't think it probably should have been number 1 on this list. But that's Sierra Nevada Pale Ale.
Yep.
I don't know.
That is the classic quintessential American craft beer when you think about it. Though.
Honestly, I think the top 2 are pretty spot on in my opinion.
Well, if you're talking about historic craft beers,
looking through the panel of voters to see if anyone from Anchor is on here.
I don't know. I think as far as like historic craft beers, though, you got to give a nod to Anchor's Steam. It's like the one that practically started it all.
I'm surprised it wasn't in the top 5.
Yeah. No, I think the top. Yeah, I think it should have been along with Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, Samuel Adams Boston Lager for sure. Those are probably might be my top 3. When was it
that Fritz Maytag bought Anchor in the first place? Wasn't it like the
65 or something like that?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like he made that beer way back then, and it wasn't until the 80s that any other craft beer was. Once there was a law that got passed in the States, wasn't it? Allowing craft beer to actually be made.
Yes.
I'm bastardizing
no, I think you're thinking about the home brewing stuff.
Yeah, I think that's what it was because there was stuff being made in the late 70s that you would call craft beer too.
Yeah.
Just small regional stuff like Sierra Nevada. I think were doing it in the late 70s, were they not?
Yeah, late 70s, early 80s.
Yeah, but what I'm trying to say is that without Anchor, you wouldn't have had anything else, and without Anchor Steam, you wouldn't have had Anchor.
Well, and I agree, but at the same time, like I think Sierra Nevada Pale Ale, and then you got Jim Cook. I think they kind of took what they were doing and made it more popular and kind of brought it to the masses. Yeah,
that's true. Well, just as far as Jim Cook goes.
Yeah, so I think that has a lot of historical value too, knowing that those 2 guys are kind of at the forefront of popularizing it around America anyway.
Kind of surprising that there wasn't anything from Brooklyn Brewery, just because I always kind of hear people always pimping their shit. So
especially when there's like 37 different Anchor beers on a top 25 list.
Mm-hmm.
And, I think they could just throw them home.
Okay, let's go. Holy shit.
Oh yeah, pay attention to your fucking commenters, Lee. What the fuck?
Hey, why you just shut up, Chris, and I'll fucking do my job, and you can just stop looking over my shoulder.
It's not a job you don't get paid for.
Way too much Polish vodka right now.
Okay, fuck off. Chris Shepard says, has anyone tried Interloper from Indie Ale House? Got into beer trade, currently sitting in the fridge. Apparently it was the official beer of Toronto Beer Week. It's a barrel-aged farmhouse. And Beer Core Droid said he had Interloper a few weeks ago. It was fucking excellent. But that sucker foams like a motherfucker. This whole Lost Craft thing is confusing. And Chris Shepard said, I just exploded on me when I popped the cap. Luckily, I had my glass in hand. Mr. Angus Wangus says, if Greg was here, then you would be going off air with the sextant. Well, he's here now.
I'm here.
Yeah.
You have to say
it. Beer Core Droid says Common Goods Brewmaster designed Lost Craft beers and apparently had a hand in Sexton's beer as well, and they all contract out of Common Good. So weird. He also says Dale's Pale Ale is so damn malty. 1050 is where it's at. Totally agree there.
I would contest. Oh, I'll say yes on the latter for sure, but I'll contest the Dale's Pale Ale is so damn malty. I question how fresh you get it, and also on top of it, you have to take into consideration the fact that when that beer was originally produced, it probably blew a lot of people's mind for how hoppy it was for a pale ale. So you take a 20, 25, 30-year-old recipe and compare it to all the stuff nowadays, you will think it's malty or so damn malty, but just in comparison to the rest.
Even Milt Street's Tank House is considered nothing nowadays, but it was one of the maltier beers you could get in Ontario.
Yeah,
it was spicy too.
I don't think people realize that not only does your palate change, but like comparing recipes, 30 years ago to ones that have released in the last 2 years. A lot of people do that nowadays, and it's like you just can't do that. It's not how it works.
I think it's the same way for Pliny the Elder too, isn't it? Didn't Pliny the Elder come out in like the late 90s, like 97?
No, I believe this first started bottling it maybe in the early 2000s.
That sounds more correct to me. Yeah,
that's still going back, and they were one of the
you're
very
talking
first.
15 plus years, right? And that was the first beer that pretty much blew everyone's mind.
Like one of the very first Imperial IPAs,
and that was kind of like the first. That was kind of like where whale culture kind of sprung from too. Think about it. Chris Shepard said, "Did you possibly get Old Dale's? I buy quite a bit, and it's pretty much an IPA to me."
I didn't even see that comment. I swear I didn't even see that.
Yeah. So, and he says 1050 is damn delicious, though. Beer Core Droid responds and says, "I had Dale straight from the USA and via the LCBO. I just thought it was so and a little harsh, honestly. Good night was pretty solid though from them.
I thought the Dales from the LCBO was decent.
But there's LCBO. Don't they hold on to shit?
Yeah,
for like 6 months?
It'll be at least 2 months old by the time it hits an LCBO shelf.
I think it was about 3 months old or so, but it still tasted decent.
And in all honesty, and this is just from personal experience, but trying to find Dale's Pale Ale fresh on the East Coast is not the easiest thing. Now that they have the the North Carolina brewery, you probably can find it a lot easier now over like the last 6 months to a year. But it was tough to find it fresh. You would always get it be at least a month old, if not older, which still is pretty damn fresh. But I'm talking like you can't compare a lot of these new beers that you get right from the brewery that are fucking 2 days old to something that's 2 months old. That's another thing you got to keep in mind too.
And because in the spirit of this being the month where Valentine's Day happens, Chris Shepard and Beer Core Droid are hooking up on Instagram, apparently. So
wow. The Albino Rhino beer review, dividing hundreds of people on a daily basis, but at least he brought 2 other people together.
Yeah.
Once.
So, there you go.
I wonder if I
get yourself a sextant, boys.
Now, to what Beer Core Droid was saying with the common good / sextant / lost craft thing, it's probably partially also for the money saving. There are a lot of breweries that will only brew your beer at their brewery. There are a lot of breweries, I should say, that only contract brew there if they brew everything for you. So if it's his recipe basically, and he's the one brewing it, you'll save a little bit of money, and you don't have to really worry about him kind of doing something with it. There are breweries where you'll
ejaculating into it.
Exactly. There are breweries where you'll go in and you'll brew your own stuff. The Spearhead brews their own beer at Cool, but I do know of a lot of breweries that are even just rebranding beer. They're brewing the exact same beer and putting a different name on it.
It's funny you bring up Spearhead. They're the ones that do the Hawaiian Pale Ale, right?
Yeah.
I've heard nothing from anybody in like the last year plus from them. Do they even brew any new beers or?
They do, but they're tap only.
Yeah, they still just really, for the most part, are their Moroccan Brown, their Belgian Stout, and the Hawaiian Pale Ale.
They're one of those beers that seemed, or those breweries that seemed really awesome when they came out, and then they kind of just fell into nothing. And they're just like they're doing what they need to do to make their money, but they're not doing anything that would excite people like us.
They had plans to be a brick and mortar brewery, and then that just never really happened.
Well, the guy who owns it's a lawyer, so he's got at least some money that he should have been able to, like, get some investors.
Is he in a wheelchair?
He's not in a wheelchair. He stands up, as far as I know, unless Chad put him in a wheelchair.
Whoa, that seems.
Whoa, rough.
Oh, the
Fucking
wheelchair
rough.
talk.
The other problem is if Chad was in a wheelchair, he would have fucked him.
Oh, yeah.
I'm tied with Bose now. They've caught up. It's 61-61.
Little do you know that I shut the board. I didn't do anything. You're probably going to lose based on the fact that they're Bose and you're the Albino Rhino, but
no, I know. I'm actually
pretty good so far.
I'm impressed. I stayed in first place for the entire day.
Let me just remind everyone that all the beers and ciders you drink at the Albino Rhino Craft Festival, minus the Bose booth, are full of feces. Are not full of feces. I just fucked that up.
Did you fuck? Did you fuck up how much
about the
feces?
switch?
Oh, I totally wish I was recording that because I fucking would have rewind right there.
Chad, in all honesty, how many votes do you have right now?
It's 61-61.
How many of those votes do you think are from people who have actually attended your festival, percentage-wise?
Probably about 75.
That's a good number. And Lee, you're fucking hilarious. They're all full of shit. All of them.
Well, did you know that the Gozes at Chad's Fest? I don't know, Craig.
Oh, they do have semen.
Let me just try to save this. Don't be fooled by the fact that the booth bay at the Bose booth is really hot. Don't be fooled by that. Their beer is still full of feces.
No, their beer is feces free. Every other booth has feces in their beer.
No.
She must
be. I was in error.
And you know what? She likes feces.
She must be related to Chad because she goes by the name Tits McGee, apparently.
Oh, God. This one's not staying on.
Way to
air,
go.
Also,
I didn't do that.
Also, Chris, by the way, this whole thing's being recorded, just FYI, so you do have it recorded.
Someone needs to.
I was going to screenshot it with my.
Lock Street Brewing was trying to pick up Dalhousie House in Port Dalhousie. Dalhousie House is a old part of the shipyard.
I wonder where Wolfgang was.
Yeah, I wonder where. So basically, the house is abandoned for the most part. The city upkeeps it, and it's empty. Well, Lock Street was trying to purchase it for storage. They wanted to store their kegs there, their bottles, their cans, just everything stored there, so they had more room at the brewery. They're the only people that have bid on it in the last year, and the city decided they couldn't have it. So he was turned down. He's saying he doesn't understand why he was turned down. He doesn't understand why the city wouldn't want to get the maintenance taken off of their books, this and that. But yeah, he was having this meeting the morning we filmed at Lock Street, and he was supposed to come after the meeting, and I guess he didn't come because he was sad that he lost.
He was sad. He was crying in the fucking corner. He was like, "Oh my God, I can't fucking have any storage. Fuck. What am I going to do? Oh my God." I don't even know if that's his accent. He's Wolfgang.
He's not a Valley girl. You don't know.
Oh my God. Is he a Valley girl? Chad,
No.
you met him.
No, he's not a Valley girl.
Fuck. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh,
He's a German Valley girl. He's like, oh my God.
Oh my God.
Totally. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Hi, Hitler. Oh my God.
Like totally. Oh, hey, Hitler. Oh my God. The Nazi's Nazi.
Oh my God. Chris Peters. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Okay,
Chris
so
Peters, Norwegian bitch.
last topic of the night is from Ben Johnson's Ben's Beer blog.
Oh boy.
Fantastic.
Yeah. So he talked about the same thing that's been talked about a lot over the last while, and that's sexism in beer marketing.
Oh, here we go.
Oh boy.
Fuck.
This is
Okay,
exciting.
I'm going to mute Chad right now.
It is a very, very large article. We're not going to hit it all.
Can you just read the list from earlier, the top 25 most important beers?
We're not going to actually hit most of this at all. But anyway, he contacted Barnstormer. Well, he contacted all of them, but these are the only ones that responded, or the ones that were worth mentioning. So Barnstormer responded to him. Nickelbrook responded to him. Farmer's Daughter from Whitewater responded to him, and then the last one he talks about is Niagara Brewing Companies, and then there's a bunch of comments from different women in the industry. So Barnstormer came back with the fact that they used the pinup girl, the pilot pinup girl, and they're like, we think that this is empowering. Many women love it. Many women do the pinup style stuff. Blah blah blah.
Of course
blah.
they do. They love it. Yay!
It's wonderful.
Nickelbrook came back with we don't think it's that bad. There are problems in the industry. Actually, Nickelbrook
was that their official response? Hey guys, give us a break. It's not that bad.
Nickelbrook actually threw Whitewater under the bus. They said it's no Farmer's Daughter's melons.
Whoa! Shots fired.
Ours is kind of bad. Theirs are fucking terrible.
Yeah, Farmer's Daughter's melons. The owner came back with it's a boob joke.
What are melons?
And boob jokes are awesome.
And then Niagara Brewing Company, he contacted them over Amber A. It's a can with a girl in short shorts and tight shirt holding an axe. Basically, he contacted them via email and Facebook about 7 times. And then he posted, this is my 4th and final time reaching out to you via Facebook. The story will go live on my blog in the next day or two. That singles out Amber A as one of Ontario's more sexist beer labels. If you'd like to offer any sort of statement in response, this is your last chance. Thanks. And then he also copied the part where it says seen on Monday at 8:48 a.m. One thing I could tell if he had ever asked me, which he wouldn't because I'm a nobody compared to him, Dino is not going to let his people talk on something like this. Dino will just put a silence ban on them. You are not talking. Dino says no. So all of his work was worthless to try and talk to them.
Fuck this ridiculous hit piece. It's just who's this person to decide what is sexist and what's not sexist?
Well,
these are the most sexist breweries. Fuck you. That's your fucking opinion.
I was part of the conversation on one of the Facebook pages where a guy was saying there's much worse things out there, and everybody was jumping on him. And I came back with, you do know that there are a lot of different people with different paradigms, and you have a right to be offended as he has a right to not be offended. And what offends him is not what's going to offend you. Maybe he doesn't find this offensive. Maybe she doesn't find this offensive. Maybe you do. That doesn't mean you're right and they're wrong. It means let's find out where the difference in the grounds are and why he thinks this and you think that.
I just want to know if Jello commented on having Bill Cosby as their spokesman.
Oh my god, yeah, that's awesome.
Nothing but positive comments.
Okay, let's think about this for a second. Okay, we all have to be 19 in Ontario to drink, and 18 in Quebec, and 21 in the States or whatever, and we're all adults. So,
12 in Niagara.
No, whatever. But my point is, if you got a fucking, we're all adults. We're not fucking preteens playing fucking Battlefield against fucking 42-year-olds. Shut up, Joe. Stop bitching. Okay, you know what? Let's get a fucking female brewer out there and fucking make a beer called Schlong. And you know what? No guy is going to be pissed off at the fucking thing. I'll tell you
That's the thing. I'm like, if it's really that much of a problem, why does some brewery come out and make a fucking beer with a bunch of Chip and Dale dancers on it? And then
exactly.
Just
that's my point.
They exist. There's Long Dong Pilsner, which has a naked black guy on it.
Because sexism only works one way.
Apparently it does, yeah.
Has that been flagged? Is it removed now, or is it still around?
No, Long Dong Pilsner is still out there.
Yeah, no, because only men can be sexist.
Fucking bullshit. That's all it is. Well, Jamie?
Well, I mean, you take into account the Society of Beer Drinking Ladies Bevy Festival. So it's a beer festival where only women attendees are allowed to be there. Well, that is discrimination to a male. And, I mean, it's perfectly fine if you want to have that festival. That's perfectly fine. But at least accept the truth of the matter. That is a sexist festival. I understand your whole concept of, well, you know, we want to have this so we feel safe or we feel enlightened or we feel whatever we want to feel. It doesn't matter. You're being sexist. You're being discriminatory to an entirely different gender. If a guy went out and made a guy festival that was only guys, he would be lambasted all over everything.
Yeah, but the feminist argument is that, we're a repressed segment of society, so we need this festival.
I was going to bring that up. There is the idea of male privilege and white male privilege and everything else like that. Well, you know what? If it's equality we all want, it's stop talking about privilege, stop talking about this, stop talking about that. Just make it equal.
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back.
I do have a question though.
Go ahead, Jamie.
So that Society of Beer Drinking Ladies, their festival as a man, could a man actually go to the festival?
No.
Are you actually
They're
not
not,
allowed?
they're not allowed to go.
Not unless you identified as transgender, then they'd let you.
Okay, you know what?
Oh,
The female beer league here
You
in
know
Nova
what?
Scotia, they let men into their beer league.
Well,
The one that's here in Nova Scotia, you can bring your
have a bit of
husbands,
a
you can bring your
problem with that.
boyfriends or whatever.
All right, and for the record,
all
I'm
these
just
beer,
going to say
women
that
beer festivals should be that, you know, and I know Rhino said this before, is that make it all about female brewers, make it for a female
that's just it.
charity.
I
But the
would
way they
actually-
do it is dumb.
You want an all-female beer festival? Do that. Do exactly what Beer for Boobs originally was. Make it all-female brewers brewing beer, and that focus on female brewers. Female this, female. Focus all on female. Take your
because it's not. Is that not the focus?
Or give it to whatever you want, but focus on it.
Is that not
because only women can come to this?
Because is that not the focus? The focus is to make the industry more inclusive for females, to make them more comfortable to actually come into the industry and make beer and be part of it. That should be the whole point, and to make female consumers feel like they can be a part of it as well and actually drink beer and buy beer and stuff like that.
See, and this is where I am. I'm walking a tightrope, and I could fall on either side because I want to support it. If it was doing this, if you were taking all your money and giving to female charities and showcasing female brewers and everything else to make other females realize that the industry was friendly to both sides, okay. But if what you're going to do is segregate males because you want to make females think it's a safe place to be, then all that does is make them think that every guy that drinks beer is just going to be a disgusting pig that's going to look at their tits all the time.
Yeah,
that's right. And for the record, Greg is outside with binoculars on that female.
Yeah,
I'm just saying.
I mean, for the record, yeah, but
For the record, I would like to see Chad actually walk a tightrope.
Hey, you know what? Guess what? Guess what? I'd very much like to see women in tight revealing clothing just as much as women like to see men in tight revealing clothing. It's no goddamn difference. It's just one side of the same fucking coin.
I will say this all-female festival sounds like a great time to pull your dick out.
Yeah, pretty much.
Greg is the exact person they're trying to get away from.
I'll say this. When it comes to marketing, if I was running a company, I would not ever put anything on my label that would be deemed offensive to anybody, because I don't want to exclude half of the people that might buy it. And in the same vein, I wouldn't have it a festival that's excluded, like it would exclude half of the people that would come to it. I just think that's divisive.
The human race.
Well, the problem with the first part of your sentence there is that anything could offend anybody. I mean,
and then the question comes: how offensive is this stuff? Or some fucking asshole writing an article tells you it's offensive.
I mean, your avatar offends me right now.
Mm-hmm.
Sorry, someone sounded the misogynist bat signal, so I had to show up again.
No, you were a misogynist asshole.
Listen.
Yes, I agree that anything can be deemed offensive, but you know what I mean, like having a
I know what you mean.
A chick on it. I wouldn't put that on my label. I have nothing against it, but I wouldn't do it.
Okay, what were you going to say, Ewart?
I'm just.
You already forgot that's how old he is.
No, I'm broaching a sensitive subject.
Yeah, he's doing.
Does the sexual orientation of the people running this have anything to do with anything?
It's sad. It's fucking
mean
beer
they're all
in a can. It's
at
beer
the
in a
end of
bottle.
the
It's beer
day,
on
it shouldn't.
draft.
Sexual orientation of the
Fucking
people.
the liquid. You should.
Are you implying they're all dykes, Ewart?
No, I'm not saying that. I know a couple are. I'm not.
No, you mean gender? Let me correct you here. You meant gender and or sexual orientation or race for that matter.
None of it.
None of it should. No. They made this a female-focused festival.
Well, then you're saying gender.
No, but that's what they made it. But I'm just curious if beyond that, if there's another thing at work here, which is it's for females because we don't want men there because we may.
They all want to eat boxes with their beer.
We just hate men, or is it a men hating festival? I don't know.
They don't like the penis.
I know a lot of the girls that are involved in this, and a lot of them are really great people. I don't.
They're ladies, by the way.
Yeah, whatever.
Wait, people and ladies are the
broads.
They're broads. I don't know where you're going.
I know a lot of the people involved in this, and a lot of them are really great people. But to what you were saying, yeah, nothing should have any effect on it. Again, we're sitting here and we're talking about racism and we're talking about discrimination and everything all over the news, all over social media. Everybody's talking about it. Yet this is okay, even though it is doing those things. This is okay because it's only women.
Guys,
Again, it goes to the excuse that, oh, we're a repressed segment of society that's been downtrodden for so many years, so we're allowed to be just like the people who oppressed us because, you know, we're oppressed. So, you know, comeuppance and all that shit.
You remember when it was just Adam and Eve, and that's like one and another one. So you can't be oppressed when there's fucking 50-50 draw right there.
Don't start bringing Bible bullshit into it.
Let's slow down. Let's not get into the religion. You know what I'm saying? Let's just get
we're already tackling too many subjects here as it is.
This is way above our pay grade.
What it comes down to is
We're talking about
anybody has sex with a chicken?
what it comes down to is sexism in beer marketing. What should matter about it? Here's what should matter. If you don't like it, don't buy it.
Exactly.
The more you talk about it, the more you post blog posts and show the beer and all that and talk about it, the more people that didn't hear about it before will go and buy it. Money talks, nothing else does. If nobody's buying it, they'll change the name, they'll rebrand it, or they'll just get rid of it.
Money
If people are buying it, they're going to keep it.
I'll buy it just to keep it afloat.
Yeah, he'll be out. He's the misogynist avenger. He's out there for all the misogynists.
Where's Barnstormer located? And the other place.
Barnstormer is
Greg, can I make a video with
Barrie,
you?
Ontario.
Okay, and what was the other place that they started talking about?
He talked about Nickelbrook in Burlington. He talked about Whitewater, which is they have 2 locations, but they're up in the 613, so like the Prince Edward County, Ottawa area.
Are any of them in the GTA?
No.
Okay, then, Greg, you won't buy them anyway.
No, not interested.
So I mean, this is what it comes down to. I'm all about equality. I'm all about this, and all about that, but make it actual equal. If you want to have a women only beer festival, have it, but don't get angry if somebody does a man only festival, which you will. That's the problem. You will.
Listen, Chad. You stop mansplaining right now, okay?
If you want to make a female centric beer festival, here's my suggestion. And I know it doesn't matter because I'm just a white privileged male privileged.
You're a very white privileged.
Super white privilege.
Go out and make a festival that focuses on women in brewing. Only showcase the women in brewing. Do what your bevies were supposed to do originally, and do that.
Topless brewing.
No.
All right, to be serious for a second. Listen, it's
Settle
a
down,
privately
Barnstorm.
run thing. It's, you know what? If we're gonna get all white male privilege on it, I have no room for that. Let them do what the fuck they want. You know what?
This is just a
It
whole
could be
bunch
done
of
better. It'd be great to be able to participate, but you let them do what the fuck they want. And if they spread the word of beer with chicks and they want to eventually maybe say, hey, we don't need to do this anymore because enough women are into it because we made it comfortable and acceptable for them. Great. Fuck it. Who cares anymore?
Yeah, just don't have a double. Just don't have a double standard about it. Just don't fucking complain when the.
That's what all liberals
women
have,
we're
double
talking
standards.
about.
I'm okay with that.
You know, if they start to exclude hairy armpits from this festival, no one would show up.
Do we have anything in the comments, Lee?
Let's hope we do.
Oh, let's hope we do. God damn it.
Boobies.
Okay, so Mr. Angus Wangus says, "Hey Lee, I'm wearing a Lick a Chick T-shirt that a friend gave me from their trip to NS. Any reviews of the food from you?" Okay, well here's the thing: I've never heard of Lick a Chick,
That's
so
offensive.
I have no idea what that is.
Sexist.
Did he say
He says, apparently, I'm gonna have to look that up now, though. Apparently, he also says bras d'or, so golden bras, basically. Yes, the SCOTUS Justice Clarence Thomas was the OG Long Dong Silver. Right? Yeah, fucking silverback gorilla, that motherfucker. Here, Cord Droid said, "I'm just sick of the fucking finger pointing from those demanding equality." Yes, totally agree. Mr. Angus Wangus says, "Yes, burn your bra and chug a beer." No, keep the bras, ladies. Come on now, keep those up there for a few years. I'm sorry if that sounds sexist, but I like nice, firm, perky titties. I just don't want them on the on your fucking knees. I'm sorry. Mr. Angus Wangus says, Mr. Angus Wangus laughed at Greg's comment about the hairy chest fest. And Basement Beer Review
Said
says,
hairy armpits, but okay.
yeah, Barry, Basement Beer Review says I had an albino only festival, but I couldn't tell if anyone showed up. I hope you didn't hold it at winter time, because then it really would have been bad.
Yeah, we are snow assassins.
Yeah,
That's it.
When I filmed with Chad at the fucking at Brimstone, it was snowy in the background, and I was like, "Oh fuck, I gotta adjust my camera now."
Who, Chris? Jeez.
Who's got an indie filter?
it is terrible. It's like watching one of those old VHS tapes back in the day where something was too white on the screen and it starts bleeding out from the fucking video image.
It turns to different colors. I'm like, why are you going into negative?
Rhino
static.
looked like essentially like the white albino pig pin, because there was all this blur coming out, so it was like almost like a dust cloud.
So, if any of you want to join us once we go offline in a few moments, I'm going to post the.
Why? A few moments? What the fuck you going? What?
Yeah,
That's
Greg. What'd you do? What'd you do, Greg?
I
didn't post anything.
You didn't post anything. I got to get out of the bedroom so my wife can go to sleep.
You can just leave us live. I'm sure nothing will happen.
Yeah, no, that's not happening.
I think we established. Hey, Chad. I think we established.
If I go downstairs to play Battlefield 1 with Chris, I need the internet off.
I think we
stupid.
I think we all established that we're all misogynists. So you just tell your wife to sleep on the couch right now.
Yeah.
Like a Yeti sighting. I hate you so much right now, Mr. Angus Wangus.
Listen, who here is going to Chad's Fest this year outside? We know Lee's not, but anyone else not coming?
I'd like to. When is it again?
All right, Ewart's out.
No, I'd like to. I'd like to.
It's on the
May
same
27th.
same weekend as my wedding.
No, it's not. Greg, just stop. Greg, just stop. No, I actually don't know when it is because I don't pay attention, but I'm
I've
pretty
just
sure
said
it's
it
the
3
end of
times. May 27th.
May. Okay, there you go.
May 6th.
Is it the May 2-4 long weekend?
No, it's the weekend after.
Excuse me.
Is that
As
the
long as
Memorial Day
everything goes
weekend?
okay, I'll be there.
Ewart, either way, you can still drink 2-4s there.
So to any of you in the watching right now, there is the link. I wish I could put my computer is too old. I had that problem too. I really did. I
tell you,
had
who
a
can't-
computer that
I'll
was
tell you
playing.
who can't join? Fucking Jordan, because he's got me blocked, a little bitch.
I was hoping Chris Peters would be joining tonight. Is he coming?
He
And
should
with that,
really.
with
I
that,
think
it was
he-
great chatting with all of you guys.
Chris
If you have
Peters
any-
killed that woman. I know he did.
If you guys did comments or any topics you want us to talk about next week,
God damn it.
please post them on my Facebook page. and
Rise up.
them.
Let's bring Chris Peters.
Please
You guys
don't
ever hear
post.
Slipknot?